Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. Around here, we'll be talking about all things expansion, going from good to great and from great to greatness. I'm your host, Barbie Collab. Get ready for your next level. Let's do this. Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. Diamonds are built under pressure. That is something that we've heard so many times, and we know that's true. If you have a chunk of coal and you know that it has the potential to be a diamond, you can't just polish the coal and hope that it turns into a beautiful quality diamond. You do have to put that diamond under pressure. The topic today is around this idea of putting pressure on your business. Is this true with business? And it's something that I want to explore with you. So you know that I've been a partner with Body for over 15 years. And in our company, we have something called diamonds. And that is something that we would always say, diamonds are built under pressure. Diamonds are built under pressure. So I'm not only talking about network marketing, I'm talking about any business that you have, whether it's a brick and mortar store, whether you have a yoga retreat center, whether you are in network marketing, whether you are an affiliate marketer, any business, diamonds are built under pressure. Let's go ahead and explore that. So there is a difference between being obsessive and being consistent. I really tried to break this down for us. What is that difference? When I first started my business back in 2007, I absolutely was obsessed, and it wasn't a bad thing. I mean, I absolutely loved every second of everything that I did, but I didn't know how to regulate my nervous system. I didn't know when to put the phone down. I didn't know that working out 2 times a day was probably not the best thing for my health. So there was definitely a certain level of obsession that I would not go to sleep until I had achieved a certain number of tasks. And I'm not making anyone right. I'm not making anyone wrong. If this is you and you absolutely love to burn the midnight oil and stay up till 2:00 in the morning, or work 12 hours a day, and you're able to without your body suffering, without you experiencing burnout, fantastic. Because I do realize that we're all different. And I always talk about my friend. I mean, the woman travels the world nonstop. She's a dancer, professional dancer. She has multiple businesses. She's a body partner and she does branding, and she has the energy for it. I would crumble with that energy, expending that amount of energy. It just doesn't align with me and my actual ability to produce or to go at that rate. And so I want to make it clear. It is never about saying like, that is bad. But if you desire to build a business or build a life that you love, where you have more spaciousness, because it's a choice, or maybe because of health reasons, or because you have X number of children, whatever the reason is that you simply don't want to or cannot go boom, 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 boom. This podcast is going to be reassuring, because you don't need obsession to build a business now. If you are, for example, yesterday I was listening to an interview with Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan is the GOAT, right? He is the greatest of all time, unless you're into that debate with, oh my God, LeBron James, which I'm not. I get exposed to it through my husband sometimes when we're watching some basketball stuff. But I heard an interview with Michael Jordan, and he was saying how he doesn't think that he would make a good coach because his standards and they were so high when he was playing the game, that he would actually feel badly for the young kids entering the game if they didn't meet his standard. So I willingly and happily and honestly admit that there are some professions where to be the greatest of all time, there is absolutely a need for obsession. And I don't know if that's you. And if that is you, then fantastic, right? That is not me. I am not looking to be the greatest of all time in anything. Well, to my husband and to our dogs, but I do want to be one of the greats. And that is something that one of my mentors, Melanie Ann Layer, she talks about all the time. It's not about being the best. It's about being one of the greats. And then you also get to define what great means to you. So I just started teaching Empress and I'm having such a beautiful experience. And I have women that are at very different levels. One of them is at the so the early stages of deciding what her business is going to be, what services she's going to offer into the world. And then I have another woman who already has an established business and she desires to build her empire. Who is right? Nobody's right. It's about what we desire. That's what my podcast is about. That's one of my values. It's how can I guide? How can I help women to build the life that they actually desire? And so that is one of the first questions that I have for you is what do you desire in your business, in your life? Do you want that spaciousness? Do you want to only work a few hours a day? Do you want to work 7 hours a day? Are you willing to work 10 hours a day? Do you want to work twice a week? Do you want to show up and do live calls? Do you want to have a 9-to-5 job? All of the choices and possibilities exist out there for us. We have to begin asking questions of ourselves. What is it that I desire? And figure out what is important to us in terms of, time, space, energy production or expenditure. And it requires us to do the work so that we can figure out how to be most effective and have the most fun as well. I don't remember if I've shared this with you, but I have been on Instagram for a few years. I lost my Instagram account and that's a long story that it's boring and I don't even like to talk about it, but I had to start all over again. And I put a lot of care into my content and into my posts and people really weren't seeing it. I didn't have much visibility. And so I went on a search to figure out how I can play the game. And by playing the game, it doesn't mean selling out. It doesn't mean making reels that don't align with me because reels is the name of the game, by the way, in social media. If you're not using reels, you're missing out. And I was using reels, but I still wasn't getting the visibility. So if I'm putting all this effort forward and I'm not getting the visibility, then as a business owner that wants to maximize the effort that I put out, then it made sense for me to do the research to find out how to play the game and stay in alignment. And this doesn't mean obsession. This doesn't mean working all day long. For me, it means working definitely smarter and finding the joy. So I bought a course from a friend who was able to increase all her following through all the platforms. And in one of the first videos that I watched, and she actually gifted me the first video, and she said, I'm scrolling in the bathroom. I'm scrolling when I'm cooking. I'm scrolling. And she's much younger than I am. And I asked myself, am I willing to do that? And there is no judgment. The answer for me is no, I am not willing to do that. So what is the difference between obsession and consistency? That is the question. And again, this is not a judgment on anyone. Why do I keep repeating that? Because everyone, different strokes, different folks. Everybody gets to do what they want with their lives and how they do it. So I cannot sacrifice my health. And also what I noticed, because the first few days when I was trying to learn the new method, I did have to search for a lot of reels, and I did it in the evening. And what I noticed was that all the sounds of the reels, the audios got into my head. And so I had a very busy night of dreams. I only needed one night of that for me to realize, okay, I'm going to spend 20 or 30 minutes per day searching for this trending audio so that I'm not obsessive, so that it doesn't crowd my brain because I have other things to do. And yet I am committed and I am consistent. And already I can see some growth. Now, I have two things to say about this. I have to be okay with possibly getting slower results as a result of not doing this multiple hours a day. Can I accept that? The answer is yes. I can accept that. Now, does it mean that if I don't spend 3 hours a day or doing it, scrolling for trending audio in the bathroom or when I'm walking the dogs or whatever, does this mean that I'm not going to succeed? No, it doesn't mean that at all. We really have to let go of this idea that if it's not done in a certain way, if it's not done the traditional way, that we're not going to get results. It doesn't mean that at all. My desire for you is to pass everything through your own filter, because we've all been conditioned. We've all been told this is the way it's done. This is the way it's done. This is the way that it has to be done. We've got maybe our friends, we've got our spouse or our partners, we've got just the TV, media, social media influencers. We've got everybody telling us that things need to be done this way, when it's very possible that they don't have to be. And it does take a lot of courage to figure things out and to do things your way. So back to diamonds are built under pressure. What I would like to say is that what is really required is consistency. And even with consistency, you have to determine what consistency means. So if you have an online business and you're posting once a week and it's really amazing content, I don't know if that's enough. I don't think that's enough. If you only post twice a week, is that enough? I don't know. Everybody's different, but I would imagine, because there is such a thing as the algorithm, that if you're only posting once or twice a week, you are not going to be seen and that the algorithm is not going to push you out. That said, the question again is, how can I do things in a way that are in alignment with my values? So having spaciousness, prioritizing my health, prioritizing my time with my family, so that I can create content that gets put out every day, but I don't have to be constantly on. And so when you ask that question, you're able to find different solutions. You could maybe batch content. You can hire an assistant to create certain content. You can hire an assistant to help you find trending audio, for example. And by the way, I'm going to link the course for becoming an affiliate or brand person. See, I don't even know the language yet, but I'm trying it out. I'm seeing some results. It's not, I don't have the hundreds of thousands of followers yet, but I'm really excited to try it in a way that is in alignment with myself. And really, that has been the biggest question for me over the past few weeks, because at first it was a struggle. I was like, oh my God, does this mean I have to sell out? Because I refuse to sell out. What is selling out? So I had this whole internal dialogue, right? Posting things that are not in my character, posting things that I don't agree with. I refuse. I'm clear that I refuse to do that. So what does it mean for me to be in alignment? What does it mean for me to use or to utilize different systems or different methods or to try different techniques, but in a way that aligns with my values. And that has been the game changer because I'm not on the phone all day. I do have an assistant that helps me with the trending audio. I also look myself. I am having fun, and I only post content that is in alignment with me, and I'm doing it consistently. So consistently for me means posting every day, but it means for me that I'm not having to do it every single day. So I'm finding a way that works for me. And that's what I would like to offer to you, is to find your own way. But consistency is key. And if we are talking about an actual diamond, then yes, the pressure needs to be on. Let's say you have a franchise that needs to be open because you've invested a few $100,000 and the franchise needs to be open in a month from now. Well, the reality is you are going to put some pressure on that diamond because you need it to be successful. And there are things that need to get done. There are absolutely seasons in life when pressure needs to be applied. And that is okay. As long as you know that there's rest, as long as you know that you need to take naps, as long as you know that to keep your body healthy, you need to be taking care of yourself, you need to rest. This is life. Life is not always clean cut. Sometimes it gets messy. Sometimes you need to be, sometimes you need to be in an out of alignment for a little bit while you make some changes in your life. So I know this woman, she's a human design expert, and she had a corporate job. I'm not really sure what she was doing in her corporate job, but she was also she's a mother of two, and she was a teacher. There she was. She was a teacher, and she was building her human design business. And she said, I understood that for a little bit, while I was building my business, I was working harder than usual because she had her teaching job and she had to prepare and she wanted to do a good job with that. But once the kids were asleep, I did have to work, and I did have to, I don't want to say sacrifice, but do things that she normally wouldn't do because she knew that the payoff was going to be great. So what I would add to that, and I don't know her personally, I've done some trainings with her, but I heard her tell the story. What I would say to you, if you have a job or you have kids or you have a situation where for a little bit you have to put that pressure on the coal so it could turn into a diamond, I would say just make sure that you find ways to really nurture yourself and that you don't burn out. Because I really do understand that there are seasons in life where the pressure is required. And I've been through them and I navigate them differently now. I navigate them with rest. I navigate them with meditation. I navigate them with taking a day completely off. I navigate them with putting my phone down once the phone is down. So there are so many ways that you can truly, truly still take care of yourself. And that is all I have for you. Today's episode's short and sweet. I hope that you found this helpful. I'm going to link some things below for you, some goodies as well, as invite you to the Magnetic Portal community. And I'm always so excited to have you tuning in. I so appreciate you. I love my podcast. I love that you're on the other side listening. It really means the world to me. I will see you next week. If you loved this episode and if you're loving my podcast, I would love for you to leave a review. They really do make a difference in spreading the word and having more people be impacted. Also, I'd love for you to join me in my Facebook community called The Magnetic Portal. You can find the link in the show notes. I'll see you next time.